Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back to Train Sim World 3, and today I thought I would run a short service in one of my favourite locos in TSW, and that is the Class 31, which came as a DLC for the Tees Valley line back in TSW 2. And this one is part of the Diesel Legends pack down on Great Western Express. It's just a very short one to bring a light engine out of service, or into service I should say, from Old Oak Common down to London Paddington. So let's get into it. Got the dynamic weather on, but it's a very short service, so we might not see any weather on this route. So let's just try it anyway. Let's get everything set up, ready to go, and get the master key on. We'll put it in forwards. Then we have got the safety systems to do. Just while we're here, let's do the lights. That's it. Let's have a bit of fresh air. It's a nice morning, 8:15 in the morning. Get the brakes off. The brakes actually do take some time to come off on the 31. So let's have a look outside whilst it's doing that. Quite a number of 31s waiting here in this depot. Right at the back you can see a Class 08 minding his own business, waiting for something to do. Right, the brakes are starting to come off. So we'll put a little bit of power in and it'll pick up as soon as it's able. Still coming off. So with the Diesel Legends timetable, you can run these services that bring the locos into service. Then if you go into free roam once you're at Paddington, you can then actually run the service up to Reading after that. So this Great Western Express actually is a great route if you like the 31, for giving the 31 a good run. So I quite often find myself back on the Great Western Express. I know a lot of people are not keen on the fact that it's a modern looking route with an older timetable, but and I'm really speeding. But to be honest, I can see past that. That doesn't bother me at all. Let's get the speed off. That's better. This section is very slow. Look at the detail on track. I love the fact that now we got weeds coming out of the track. You know, where you would expect it, around the depots that are not used as much as the main line. The detail is excellent, I have to say. So we get to speed up quite soon. And we do get to see more locos on the way in. Looks like a couple of Class 52s are waiting there just by the train wash. Let's speed it up now. The in-cab sounds of the 31 also are really nice. I love the clicking of the levers and the buttons. I tend to use the controller for everything. I don't try to look down at the desk, which sometimes is, most of the time's good, but you know, it is nice to see all the levers moving. I don't often do that. I need to mix it up a little bit. I find using the controller a lot easier though. I think that's the thing. Especially now with the immersive control scheme, everything can be done with the controller, pretty much. There's a 52. Now the 52s have all got names, so let's have a look. That is the Western Champion. There is video actually. I saw a video on YouTube of the Western Champion in its maroon livery, going up and down the Great Western. That's the Western Ambassador. Both waiting there for either cleaning or the next job. We'll make our way to Paddington. Should get to speed up very, very soon. Some of these loco DLCs really do enhance the routes and the content that you already own. This 31, I was waiting for the 31. The two things I always wanted in Train Sim World from a loco perspective were the Class 37, which we got as part of Tees Valley, and we also, you know, we can use that in many places. We've got it on the West Cornwall as well, more recently than that. But the other one was the Class 31. It's what I remember as a kid. I remember it running up and down quite a lot, and used to see lots of these, along with the 47, of course, which is another favourite of mine. But this one, look at the weathering on this one. It almost looks real, you know. And I think that's what I like about these, because these were never clean, were they, really? If you see one these days, of course, in preservation, it's always really clean. But when they're in use like this, this is pretty much what they always look like. Pretty filthy. A lot of work goes into these. You know, not just on the physics side, the art side as well. So if you haven't got the 31, I recommend getting the 31, it is really nice. So we haven't far to go. Got to go via the Old Oak Common Carriage Reception first. That will of course give us a few more points. Let's hop back in the cab. See the buildings of London just starting to appear now, just in the distance. Got a yellow coming up. Should really switch to the locomotive brake, being as we're running light engine. So let's do that, and then we're ready. Should get an alarm of this. Single yellow, then a red. So I don't know what the C is above the signal. I'm assuming that might be to do with common carriage reception. Not sure. Got the red in 670. But we may actually go over this via, and the signal may change once we do that, but we'll need to be cautious just in case it doesn't. To go. The engine just purrs nicely, doesn't it? Very relaxing to listen to. So I will slow it down. There's a 52 leaving, which might be what's given us this red. Let's see. I'll go over the objective. And then we'll stop unless it changes. There we go, so it's changed to green. Sometimes it does that. You run over an objective and it immediately changes the lights. That one was quite close to the light as well, wasn't it? So we're going into the station, then we get to couple to the train, ready for its journey off to Reading after this. So we can go all the way up to 25, so let's do that. And likewise, as I said, you can pull into Paddington, you can couple up, and if you go to free roam, you can do the service all the way up to Reading. You can do it the other way around as well. You can come into Paddington, then you can also you can do all the shunting moves with the 08 to take off the engine, and you can run the engines back to Old Oak Common as well, which is quite nice. So you can kind of hang around, if you want, around Paddington and do all these movements as part of this timetable, which is actually quite fun. There is plenty to do now on Great Western. I like the standard Great Western, to be honest. But this layer, if you can get over the fact, as I said at the beginning, if you can get over the fact that it's a modern route with all the trains, then there's a lot of enjoyment in this one. There's a 52 going back, you see, from a previous service that's come into Paddington. Got a yellow, so let's just be cautious. There's a red coming up. Yards to the red. I don't know actually if we can go to the signalman, try and get through this red. Shall we try? Proceed as the signals indicate. Yes, it's changed to a yellow, so we're good. Got a shunting signal there that we can go through. So let's go through there. Straight into the platform now. So we don't have any switches to set or anything like that. This is all controlled by the signalman. All this area. Let's take a look at the outside. Start slowing it down a little bit. We don't want to go crashing into the back of the coaches. There they are. Steady as she goes. don't want to be coming into these buffers at any more than sort of 1.5 miles per hour really. And we'll couple these from the outside. Just keep bringing it down. So this forms the 8:29 to Reading service according to the PIS, so it's going to be slightly late. Hopefully the passengers are on board. There are some waiting. Let's just creep forward. The guide will be on the radio now, telling the passengers you may experience a slight jolt. So what we need to do actually is change the coupler on these and then couple them, and there we go. So that was the short run into Paddington. Hope you enjoyed that. Give me a chance again to use the Class 31, which I always enjoy. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.